knows where the time.
Thank you, little Timmy, once again, for that wonderful mix of music. In the shadow of the out-of-court settlement tavern in the heart of London's fashionable Fitzrovia, it's Community Garden Radio.
Sharon.
Go on, lads. Take it home from me, will you, Tom? No More Heroes by The Stranglers, famously covered by post-punk heroes Mosque in 1988. Damien Higgins could never really do the keyboard solo because it's quite fast, isn't it? And I, in the interest of full disclosure, the reason that I played that was because I was actually searching on Spotify for No More Lonely Nights by Paul McCartney, which I intend to play on my Lees Tarbuck stand-in tomorrow. But that popped up and I thought, I've got to have that. That's a show starter if ever I've heard one. So that's what I did.
Gene, he didn't put the fader up again.
Spot the deliberate mistake. Oh, shut that door, look at this floor.
Gene, he's not started with Parkinson theme, he started with This Is Your Life theme. What does it mean?
Nothing. Don't mean nothing. I don't mean nothing to you. Welcome to Community Garden Radio. Is it the can't do the math. Is it maths? You're not American. Probably the 9th time we've done it or something. I'm just saying to Ben, if I was doing the Daily Show like what I used to do, and if I just started a new Daily Show, we would be into like week 2 or week 3 of it now. I've done so few of these when you think of it, which is my roundabout way of passing off my incompetence as inexperience.
The window's open when his butt flew out.
So what's going on with the programme? Oh, all sorts. Incidentally, there are 2 cameras on me today. Ben strapped one right on the barrel of this microphone, so I don't know if you're getting a proper look at me Uta, which I'm looking more and more like Carl Malden every week. Anybody who's not over 45 won't get that reference. He's a guy with a bollock nose. The streets of San Francisco. I imagine you'll definitely get all the hairs on my nose if you're looking at that particular shot. Anyway, that's not what's on the show. What is on the show, amongst other things, middle-aged shout-outs, pub orders, small claims court, dad gags. Quite a wealth of dad gags today, both from you and from me. Roy, have we got any holding out for a hero? Has anybody been particularly heroic this week? Yeah. We might have a crossword later. And we might have at least part 1 of a Theatre of the Mind satire. Intriguing, isn't it? Birthdays, any other business. Sibilance. You know, that kind of thing, innit? You and me and Ben and the tunes here, shivering in the shadow of the out-of-court settlement tavern. Oh, and also, thanks to Paul Murphy, we might, if we can fit it in, have a splash of an episode of Preston Clubland pamphlet highlights. So a lot to go at there. Sean's created cul-de-sac at gmail.com. Brave the Discord, if you fancy it. And of course, the wedding playlist, where I play something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. I'm going to kick off with something old. Jimmy and Robert, if you're listening, we got your number. This is Howlin' Wolf and How Many More Years.
How many more years have I got to
I'll see you in court. I said I'll see you in court. Outrageous.
Great music.
Isn't it? Howling Wolf and How Many More Years, obviously heavily borrowed from by Jimmy and Robert on the first Led Zeppelin album, and the last track, How Many More Times. Doesn't bear that much of a musical resemblance, really, but certainly lyrically. And, you know, like the entirety of Don Van Vliet's back catalogue owes a lot to Howling Wolf, doesn't it?
Get on with it, Sean. Have you got that clip about frozen iguanas? Why don't you play it now?
Frozen iguanas falling from trees.
Yeah, so we have. Traditionally, of course, this would be the Bergerac link. And also, with regards to content, a bit later on, we've got the listener quiz. The listener quiz, the inaugural listener quiz last week was, can you guess the amount that it cost Sarah to get her Ford Cougar tyre fixed when a nail went in it? And it was just so successful that we decided to do it every week until it stops being successful. So it could be the last week of it. This week it's Tracy's MOT. It's a Ford Fiesta. If you want to submit the guess, check out your Patreon page. It should be up there imminently. Russ from Derby. I'm just going to read out some bits and bobs and any other business to get our feet under the table. Just listen to last Friday's Thursday show on Tuesday, and that chat you had about Mad Dog 2020 got me thinking. I remember 2020 seeming like it would give me a really fun time, but then leaving me feeling absolutely destroyed and disappointed with no good memories to speak of, much like the year of the same numerical sequence. To that extent, I'm going to start my annual attempt at homebrew in the next few days, and I've already named it 2023. I'm planning for it to be a nondescript, utterly forgettable and harmless sub 4% lager. The kind of drink you get through easily without any struggle. My hope is that this will then foretell the narrative of next year, and we can finally have 12 months that's not completely fucked up. Further to this, I've just worked out it will be ready just before Glastonbury. It's nice to have a good cooking lager, isn't it? A good training lager. You know, 3.8. That's fine. I'll have 8 pints of that. I'll be fine. I'll be able to walk home, no problem. So that's good. James Kerry Lamport says I got some fuel earlier and the bloke on pump 3 put £10 in. Where's he driving to? Pump 4? Do you remember though? I remember when I first passed my test. 1991, first time, thanks for asking. And your mum would give you a £5 to put in the car, and that would last you the week. Oh, those are the days. Where's my Elvis music? Where's my Elvis music? I'll just open the bar in a minute, I think. It's not too early, is it? The sun's over the yard arm. We've received a couple of fantastic dad gags to get us out of the traps. This is from Lily in Wood Green. She says, my husband Howell and I have just got back from a lovely week away in Marsden. That's where you were, innit, Ben?
Yeah.
You were in Marsden.
I was in Marsden.
Do you remember seeing Howell and Lily from Wood Green? Did you not see them in a local pub or on the fells?
Does ring a bell?
Oh, that's sweet, isn't it? You were in spitting distance of each other. You didn't know it. Anyway, during the week, we both came up just on the bar with some dad gags for you. He thinks it's his bet, but I disagree. Anyway, here's mine. It's a shame because I keep forgetting to get... Oh, we've got it. Look at this. Paul's put the tumbleweed on. A legend. What did Edith Piaf say on a deathbed when she was asked, did you ever put dressing on your salads? The response was, no, je ne vinaigrette rien. That's good. That was quite good, actually. And this is from Howell, who says, what do you call a budget Canadian mountain dog? A new Poundland.
Yeah!
Oh, he's good. They're two good ones. I like them. So we got the bar on. We might as well pour a few for you. My yin and yang are restored, Sean. This is the first time I've ever knew at work. Insert Sid James laugh. Oh yeah. Take me in the disabled toilets, would you? I'll have a sneaky headphone in one ear and make myself look busy so I can have your dulcet tones soothing my Friday afternoon. To celebrate this occasion, I'm having a crunchy. And if I could get a pint of Timmerman's strawberry beer, that'd be perfect. If you don't sell that in the open arms, a pint of cloudy cider. Sensation.
Absolutely sensational.
Emma from Newcastle just wants a kiss on both cheeks. And this, I'm not sure who this is from. If it might be from James. Any mention of San Miguel reminds me of my sister's friend. About 20 years ago, my mum and dad took my sister and her friend on holiday to Torremolinos in Spain.
Egg and chips? Eh? Egg and chips and a cerveza? Alright?
And all week something had been troubling her. She finally asked my mum and dad on their last night, why does everybody keep saying my granddad's name? What is your granddad's name? My dad asked. It was Sandy Gill. Sandy Gill.
Can I get three Sandy Gills, please?
Brilliant. So obviously please do remember to get your orders in before we do tend to run out of some of the more high-end products, but we never run out of San Miguel.
Miguel! San Miguel!
Too much of an head on that. Top it, can you top that up?
Thank you very much. Unbelievable. I'm going to play this for my mate Ian, who absolutely adores XTC. From Drums and Wires. Life begins at the hop.
By those boys
Ah! Oh, yeah, we decided we weren't going to do those for a while, didn't we? Because, I mean, genuinely, we could be off air. Unlike when we were at the BBC. So, I apologise for that. Just in case your heart was in your mouth there. We're here. You don't have to panic about it. Well, maybe you should. Life Begins with the Hot from Johns and Wires, of course. From the sensational XTC, especially for my mate Ian. A lot of us went up to Penrith for a sort of joint 50th last weekend. All the big guns were there. Massive in its virtual entirety. Overtook some colossal stately home, toured it a new one. It's just lovely. We got colossally destroyed on the booze. Been paying the price ever since. They had a snooker table in there, and the thing that you forget about snooker is it's hard, isn't it? It's a particular thing of fellas, isn't it? You get somewhere and there's a snooker table, like a full-size snooker table, and you get, oh, yeah.
Game of snooker?
In your mind's eye, you're thinking Ronnie O'Sullivan, Terry Griffiths. But the actual sad reality of it is that it's just two people smacking balls around a table and making a pot every 97 minutes. Extremely boring to watch, extremely boring to play.
That's great, you know.
Some lovely stuff that's come in through the week, though. Listen to this. Laura Reynolds and I met digitally through the SWK Mild Appreciation Facebook group. We discovered we lived a couple of streets away. This is what's amazing about this, the actual community of it. That's growing every week. It's growing every month. And it's becoming its own entity. Separate to me, almost, really. We discovered that we lived a couple of streets away from each other and that we have friends in common. This Friday we are meeting for the first time in person at my house to discuss some research, have lunch and listen to the show together. Nice. You've brought me a new friend. Actually, you've brought me lots of new friends and I'm very grateful. But if you can manage a shout out for the Swansea Sean listening party and the first time meetup of new friends, that would be great. So lots of love to you, Kerry B. Winning the mini skirmishes against hate with our victories of love. That's what we're doing every week here. And you know, partially thanks to the cul-de-sac podcast idea of Lost Ideas, I'm also harvesting some of your, some really good ideas coming through, you know. I'll hopefully be able to monetize 3 or 4 and buy that house in Hawaii. You literally won't see me for dust. But my old mate Simon Brotherson sent this. He said, this idea I was actually spiked by me mishearing you reading out a masso. Some clown was off to a yoga retreat. But what Simon's written here is Yoda retreat. It's such a good pun, and Star Wars enthusiasts are so committed in such a tribe that the idea of a holiday surrounded only by like-minded souls, where literally everything from the decor to the food to the classes, Jedi mind control in the ballroom at 3:30, anyone? Our Star Wars thing. That is, surely is that not already happening though? Because if it's not, we need to monetize this. It's a brilliant, brilliant idea. I'd love to do that. And you just never know what you can make money out of these days. The greatest hits of The Police and Sting as sung by Yoda. Can't stand losing you. One of the greats from the old days, though. Well, actually, let's give Close a bit of a rest here and do a few massos, shall we? This Friday, you know. You know who I saw as I was walking in? I had a little chat with Greg James.
You couldn't make it up.
He does work about 9 streets away, so. Lovely fella. Such a lovely fella. He's so tall and handsome, but that's not all he is. He's great in the sack. Toby says, this weekend I'm going to be applying wood preserver. Oh, God. Get yourself sorted out, Sean. Really, it's an unacceptable length of time, this. To the inside of my summer house. I'm off to B&Q later to track some cuprinol down. I'm excited, mostly because I haven't left the house in nearly 2 weeks because of COVID. 1 in 21 of us in this country apparently now. Who knew that completely relaxing all the restrictions would have this effect?
I'll apply with fervour the wood preserver.
Mark and Serena say I'll be listening along today from the underneath of my Ford Transit. Are you doing your sump?
Underseal the chassis. It could get fairly messy.
It's a para rhyme. They sent that one in themselves. Curly Ads has said, I've got to remove a small shed to make room for our 8x4 potting shed that's due to arrive on Monday. It's one we've put together ourselves, so I'm not sure we're going to end up with an actual potting shed.
Shed swap ruction. Potting shed construction.
And Lucy says, I just had to fix a bike puncher to go to the co-op. I got overcharged for my yoghurt, and the pizza I thought was reduced had been abandoned in the reduced section at full price. It's not really been a great week, to be honest.
The tyre was deflated. The co-op was berated.
So, keep those coming in, if you will. And, of course, let's not forget that it is Red Nose Day today, which is always kind of exciting, isn't it? You know, I mean, you might not watch it all the way through on the telly. Some bits are a bit patchy and stuff, but I don't know, there's something really lovely about it still after all this time. All that wonderful amount of money that's raised for great causes. It's fantastic. All the kids getting involved at school. It's superb. You know, it's always some special sketches, hopefully involving French and Saunders and Judi Dench from one of the trailers I saw. Very much like to see that. But, I mean, I come from Lee, of course, in Lancashire, where we are a town of heavy drinkers. Every Friday's Red Nose Day, to be perfectly honest, in our place. There's nothing special in Lee. Hard Believer. First aid kit.
So you ask for my opinion. Well, what is there to say? To be honest and just foolish won't make you wanna stay. You gotta go on and get moving, and I can't do that for you. Got so many plans and so much you wanna do. Love is tough, time is rough. Love is tough, time is rough on me. Well, I see you got your Bible, your delusion, imagery. Well, I don't need your eternity or your meaning to feel free. I just live because I love to, and that's enough, you see. So don't come preach about morality, that's just human sense to me. Love is tough, time is rough. Love is tough, time is rough on me, on me, on me. And it's one life, and it's this life, and it's beautiful. And it's one life, and it's this life, and it's beautiful. And it's one life, and it's this life, and it's beautiful. And it's one life, and it's this life, and it's beautiful, 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 beautiful.
It completely blew my doors off the first time I heard that. I think we made that a record of the week back in the day. Hard Believer, sort of the start of the first Egg Kit's career, I think that, back in what would have been 2013 or something. Also, if Clive is listening, the other member of the triumvirate, the Holy Trinity of Community Garden Radio, sort of instigators, he'll be thinking exactly the same thing now. We were at Isle of Wight Festival in, I think, 2015, thereabouts. And it was my birthday, and somebody who shall remain nameless, Ria, brought a very special cake for us to consume. And it was very aromatic, we thought. It was chocolate brownie, absolutely delicious, very unctuous, really, really chocolatey. Quite herbal. In the sort of aroma of it, especially when they took the top of the Tupperware off, took your eyebrows off. Did not understand why we were uncontrollably pissing ourselves 2.5 hours later, whilst watching C. Duncan or something like that. By the time First Aid Kit came on a little bit later on, I was on the floor next to a wheelie bin, talking to the wheelie bin because just to keep myself calm, and then I was digging my fingers into the grass because I thought I was going to fly off the earth. And then I saw Clive, who'd had also a Herculean amount of brownie, and we sort of held each other whilst watching First Aid Kit, and one of us turned to the other, I can't remember who turned to who, and said, "Has this song been playing for a really long time, or is it me?" And Clive said, "Yeah, it does feel like it's been going on for about 3/4 of an hour." A time dilation there, thanks to the chocolate brownie. What a great day. Speaking of great days, guys, why don't we take a little trip? Just shut the bar for a minute. Take a little trip down Birthday Boulevard. Somebody's special day today. Oh, they say it's your birthday, woo! Oh, other great news. We've got a new telly. It's got Disney Plus on it, so I've started to watch Get Back on a 42-inch screen. Oh! Might have to have another run out of Paul McCartney's Get Back shoes at some point before the end of the year. Gail, with a Y, says, "Hi Sean, it's my son Scott's 4th birthday on Friday. Today. You'll be on in the background, possibly law due to expected profanities." Yeah, that's fair enough. He's asked for a football birthday cake from Tesco, but I'm a bad mother if I choose to ignore this request. Am I a bad mother if I choose to ignore this request and get him a proper sponge cake from local bakers instead, knowing it'll be far superior? Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? The good thing about getting a crap cake, though, is that you don't eat much of it. If you get a really delicious cake, you're going to finish it. Because the kids are only going to have a little nibble, aren't they? The number of times I've just sat there in the kitchen, just really embarrassed, just stuffing 3/4 of a cake in my face. There's not much about a child's birthday to enjoy. Hyper sugar-filled kids screaming and bursting balloons, so I want to at least know I can enjoy a massive slab of cake and my cup of tea. Maybe I should just get the football cake, because he's at least kind enough to request fish and chips for supper, which relieves me from cooking duties. What a lovely fella. Happy birthday to Scott. Al Yin says it's my long-suffering husband Ashley's 40th birthday tomorrow, and I've got him a caterpillar cake. I don't think you're ever too old for a caterpillar cake. It's delightful, isn't it? 100 legs. So that's all good. And, stop that. No, I don't want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. Rob in Manchester says, I walked past Kevin Webster in Big Asda's earlier this week. Please, could I get a Rosie, Sophie, Rita, Ty, Rosie, Sophie? No one at work was impressed, but I reckon you might be. A couple of years ago, me and my mum were stood behind Sally Webster in the Waitrose queue. My mum was proper starstruck. I'm slowly filling in my Michelin I Spy book of Coronation Street actors in supermarkets.
Ashley!
Oh, Uncle Fred.
Oh, Percy.
Get off me, woman.
I think there are... Apart from Ashley, I think all of those have sadly passed. You won't catch any of those in Asda anytime soon. nearly dropped my laptop then. Fool. Watch out for today's crossword a little bit later on. And also, let's do. I might, if I get time, discuss face worms with you. Just want to know if anybody else gets face worms. But I don't know why we've got this sort of whimsical Backstabbers OJ's music in the background, because I'm about to discuss something very, very serious, actually. Because this is about oil price. Really, for next week, and we're learning every week, but we need some we need a hard-hitting news bed, essentially, for moments like this. Ben's written that in his notebook for next week. But this is, I mean, as we all know, the cost of living is just going through the roof, right? And this absolutely incensed me, as I'm sure it did you. I've got a little bit moneysupermarket.com here, haven't I? Martin Watson. Motorist groups have called for fuel prices to fall as the cost of crude oil fell to its lowest level for 2 weeks. The price of Brent crude, follow it, not David Brent crude, the global benchmark for prices, has fallen below $100 a barrel for the first time since the start of March. And the RSC said, stick with it, it is vital that fuel retailers start passing on falling wholesale prices to consumers. They do this, don't they? Petrol prices hit another record high on Monday, meaning it cost more than 90 quid to fill a family car, the RSC said. Hence that joke about where's he driving to, pump 4. Oil prices soared after Russia invaded Ukraine, of course, but in the past few days the oil price has dropped, but they've not passed on the saving. They've got form for doing this, we know. Either not ratcheting it down immediately or just never doing it, thinking we won't notice. So it's time for a bit of theatre of the mind here. Okay. I've been busy on my garage band. Here is a dramatic reconstruction, ladies and gentlemen, featuring me as myself and also as a member of OPEC who's actually buying a yacht. This is me confronting OPEC, ladies and gentlemen. This is big. Theatre of the mind.
Lads. Lads. Wait, please, OPEC. Listen, lads, the price per barrel has gone down like nearly $40 a barrel. Sorry, what? You heard me, the price has gone way down, so why are you still charging people the same amount? Sorry, it's a bad line, I can't really hear you. I'm not on the phone, you weirdo, we're face to face. Why haven't you cut the price? What, really? Has it gone down that much? I did not notice that. That's your entire job. What were you doing? Well, you can see we're at the yacht shop, can't you? So, we're a bit distracted. Anyway, listen, honestly, we'll sort it out. Now, promise. Doing it now. Yes, can I have the 400-foot Montserrat in peach? Yes, that one, with gold taps in every bathroom, yeah. Mink seats, thank you. Yes, champagne-filled pool. And little podiums for monkey dancers around the stage. Yeah, solid gold stage, yeah. With platinum bits around the edge, yes. You thinking what I'm thinking? And can we get big cannons in case poor people try and get us? What's that? 600 million?
No prizes. Take your shot for the love of the game. I used to make plans, now I make decisions. I'd always admired his nerve, as sure as the crown on his shirt. One hand in his waistband, he tells me to serve. Credit ratings, savings, loans, down payments towards his investments. What can I tell you, he says. When you have kids, it kind of shifts your perspectives. If I could do it all again, no question. I could list 10 things right now that I should have done different. But where does that get me? He blows out his smoke. The game's not done yet. He zips up his coat. We stand at the lights before crossing the road. He says as long as there's life, there's still so far to go.
I just wanna keep climbing, and I don't know why I don't mind, don't mind. Ooh, I just wanna keep climbing, climbing, and I don't know why I don't mind.
She's got her hat pulled down, full camo suit, sitting on the bass amp, strapping a zoot. I'm telling you, it's mad. I read one interview with this soldier in Iran. It's a government cover-up. She's looking for the lighter, but the lighter's in her hand. I'm just really trying to make a couple grand. She plays with the chain round her neck, nods deeply. Not even in this music thing, it's beneath me. I'll start my own company, run my own business, print my own money. I'll serve my own interests, I'm telling you. Knowledge is key. All my life, people took my ideas, made their names off of me, but trust this. The more I look, the more I see. There's so much more I'm going to be.
I just wanna keep climbing, and I don't know why. I don't mind, don't mind. Ooh, I just wanna keep climbing, climbing, and I don't know why. I don't mind.
They've seen nothing but dead ends and blockages and stop clocks, misread prophecies and misheard promises. They've got to keep 3 jobs ticking. They can't get a minute, but they won't be defeated. They've got to live. What are your dreams when they become ghosts in your ears, telling you things you just don't want to hear, like you're too late, you missed your chance. The last thing they want is to be bitter, like they knew a few to be when they were younger and they swore, never me, never that. But the time that's behind them, they can't get it back. I used to be joyful, they tell me, a real free spirit. I thought music would protect me. I used to sing in all these bars and I used to busk, but never caught a break. My lucky day never showed up. I never made it to the lights, and now it's like my best days have gone by, and I am scared that it's all too late. Is it all too late? They walk fast and I can't keep pace. They turn back, I watch the past cross their face, and they say if there's still time on the clock, there's still choices to make.
I just wanna keep climbing, climbing, and I don't know why. I don't mind, don't mind. Ooh, I just wanna keep climbing, climbing, and I don't know why. I don't mind, don't mind. I just wanna keep climbing, climbing, and I don't know why. Oh, I don't.
He's not allowed to enter. That's the problem. It's against all the Ofcom rules. Ofcom rules don't apply to us. Oh, it's so beautiful. That is actually our Something New track off the back of Theatre of the Mind. Isn't it beautiful? It's Kay Tempest's new one, featuring me old mate Leanne Havas on vocals. It's called No Prizes, and the album Kay's bringing out on the 8th of April is called The Line Is a Curve, the first since Book of Traps and Lessons, and if that's anything to go by, it's going to be sensational. So that's our Something New track. We've got 2. I've got Something Borrowed and Something Blue from the wedding playlist still to come. Absolutely marvellous. Well, quick masso here. Something's just come in on the old email.
Yo, middle-aged shout-outs.
Middle-aged shout-out.
Weasel Woodman and Rose the dog.
Get down, chap.
Top of the afternoon to you. After your show, I'm going to quite literally pick up my trowel and rake and sow some seeds in the garden.
Gonna go and get some seeds to sow. I might even use the hoe.
And just so you know, the Gmail has suggested the following 3 replies to that.
Love it.
Nice. Or
sounds like a plan.
I might send sounds like a plan, actually. There you go. Sounds like a plan. Quicker than typing it. Considerably quicker than typing it. Isn't that marvellous? It really is. We've got so much to get through here. It's unbelievable. It's actually, I would go as far as to say it's relatively daunting. Look at this. Following your van earworm last week. Because I was saying last week, you know, you get all these mobile barbers driving about in vans, and one drove past me the week before last, and I literally just pointed and shouted, barber van. And nobody laughed, obviously, because I was on my own on the pavement. I was reminded of a weekend in Settle me and my fiancée had a few years ago. This is from Stephen in Littleborough. Never been. We were walking next to a field full of newborn lambs, and it must have been about this time of year, and as is often the case, we got talking about how much we enjoyed lamb as a food. Sorry, vegans. The conversation took a bit of a turn, and we started talking about the possibilities of stealing one of the lambs. We didn't, in brackets. He said, not necessary, I'm sure. I wouldn't have expected you to walk off with a lamb under your jacket. My lovely other half turned round and blurted, "Whoa, Black Betty, grab a lamb." It was ace. So, once again, just one of those fantastic little moments in life that make you realise how great it is to be alive. You know what I'm saying? Get back to backstabbers. Go on, let's have a little bit of backstabbers. You what? You want one of my dad gags? All right. What about this? Okay, here we go. Here's a good one. Or is it? What food always gets in the way? That's right, a hamper. Got to be honest, I was quite happy with that one. I might drop that on Lisa's show tomorrow as well. I imagine the Radio 2 listeners they'll love that. Quite easily pleased. I've had so much on this week that you know me, I'm very easily overwhelmed. So essentially, I have been trying to do as much prep as possible through the week for not just this show, but for Lisa's show and for something I'm doing on Monday. But we've had an ill child, you don't need to hear it. You don't need to hear it. But what I've sort of fallen, I've my fallback position for the Radio 2 show tomorrow is to do a classic Lisa / Danny Baker thing. I've racked up like 4 or 5 different text topics that I'm essentially going to hurl out at the top of the show and let them do the rest of the work. It's just, the easiest way through, isn't it? Though I will ask, I will try to revive the lost and found section of this programme now. I've incidentally lost the key to our front room cabinets, which is one of the reasons that we're doing this today. It could be the beginnings of a diplomatic incident in our house. Luckily, I think my wife is too busy to listen today, so she probably didn't hear that. Anyway, if you've lost or found something this week, we'd very much like to hear from you.
What they do?
Laura and Mitten the Ancient Cat. Oh, God. Hang on. Wait a minute. Bloody hell.
Would the cat know who Noel Edmonds is?
Okay.
Cats, maybe cats operating in gangs.
Says this, I've just found the charger for my Fitbit, which has been lost in the house for over a week, resulting in me sitting around eating cake instead of keeping smug track of my daily step count, because as my friend pointed out, what's the point in it if it doesn't know you've done it? I love the philosophy behind that you essentially then, once you get one of these Apple Watches or once you get a Fitbit, the only reason that you're keeping fit is so that you've got the stat so you can beat your mates. It's not to look better, it's not to feel better, it's not to live longer, it's just to get a better stat. And if you're not getting your stats read, what's the fucking point of walking about? You might as well sit on your ass and eat cake. Laura continues, I've had a cheese pasty in it. I've also had, Sean, a Viennese finger. Oh, for God's sake. Honestly, the filth is just interminable for lunch, but I have a spare cake as I was supposed to be listening to you with Swansea Massive, Kerry Bradshaw, but we've both started sneezing, so we're taking a rain check, which means I probably will need to eat that cake. She's looking for permission to eat the cake she bought for her friend. Just do it. Why don't you try and re-lose your Fitbit charger and then you can eat as much cake as you want. Please can I have a large G&T in the open arms and some salty notes. From Mitten and Laura. Laura and Mitten the Ancient Cat, not Mitten and Laura the Ancient Cat. Laura's not an ancient cat. P.S. Can Mitten have an early birthday shout out? She's 18 in a couple of weeks. God, she is ancient, isn't she? Oh, it's very old for a cat. Must be on her 18th life now, that. And actually, just remaining in the realm of the animal kingdom for a moment, we might as well do a little small claims court here, right? Just the great thing about you as an audience is that you're extraordinarily accommodating and patient. You have to be with the slowness of this iPad. Listen to this, Sean. I have something for small claims court. On Boxing Day 2013, I measured wardrobes for Deadly 60 presenter Steve Backshall. I asked him what he thought the worst animal he'd ever encountered was, and he replied, the bullet ant. Didn't have to think about it. He then ordered a wardrobe in dark walnut. Small claims court, Steve Backshall dark walnut special. Excellent. Fantastic story. I think I lifted it off the page, didn't I? Remember, we're still yet to come Theatre of the Mind Part 2. We're hopefully going to be looking at the Preston Guild booklet a little bit later on, thanks to Paul Murphy. We'll be looking at some of the Working Men's Club's talent that's going to be hitting the stages of Preston in the next few weeks. And of course, we've got our listener quiz as well. Go to the Patreon if you want to fill in the form and make a guess for how much Tracy's Ford Fiesta MRT was. There is an actual prize, isn't there? This week, Ben? There's an actual prize this week. Actual prize. Got a fictional prize like last week, an actual prize. So fill in that form if you want to be involved in that. Let's have a little bit of Dinosaur Jr. Crumble. Oh, we're talking about cake earlier on, weren't we? Would you have it with custard or would you have it with cream? Apple crumble. So apple and black currant crumble. Will you let me know?
I got nothing where I've been. Will you bring me there again? No one ever understands. You won't change to help them. I got lost inside life. With a smile you made it die. I'm not there, you know why. And I'll run to get some Can I be there all the time? Can I stop the wondering why? Will I crumble? Will I fly? And I gotta break it. Will I be in time to see? Will it run over me? Can I fake out just to be? You know I can't take it Held the picture yesterday. Held the picture of a time for me again, but you flattened me instead. Tried to hear the things you said, feel like I almost had it, but I don't have it at all. And I'm sweating, trying to stop, till I think I heard a call. I look, you're just laughing. Held the picture yesterday. Held the picture of a
Gotta love that. You gotta love that. You gotta love that. It's Jay Maskeese, ladies and gentlemen. Jay Maskeese of Dinosaur Jr. and Dinosaur Jr. with from the Beyond album. Crumble. It was one of my favourite songs of the year 2007, and always reminds me of the story Johnny Marr tells about going to watch Dinosaur Jr. in somewhere like Portland or somewhere. and Jay invites Johnny backstage, and they have a chat before the show, and he says, do you want to see my setup? Do you want to see my guitar setup? Because for those that don't know, I'm sure you all do, Jay Maskey is a legendary guitar player, right? So one legend to another. What's the secret? And essentially, Jay Maskey's secret is to be, I think, profoundly deaf. It must be, because he just had like colossal Fender twin amps suspended from the roof somehow in this venue, and they were sort of all crowding around at cranium level, pointing at his ears and his face. That was his sort of fold back situation. So, utter legend, I'm sure you'll agree. What to do? I mean, remember, we've got a lot of content to come, #content, because we've got a fantastic listener quiz. Have you yourself put in a guess for Tracy's MOT? I think I might as well tell you what the actual prize is today. I'm really proud to say. I'll give you the full gen on the gin a little bit later on, but it's the Community Garden Special Gin. There's a litre of it. It's a beautiful commemorative bottle. You probably wouldn't want to drink it because it's probably going to be worth something one of these days, but knowing you lot, it'll probably last about 10 minutes. That's today's prize.
Please, drink responsibly.
So you've got to make a guess, if you want a chance of being in the mix. We'll get Tracy on the phone in the next half hour, and hopefully the winner, if they pick up, whoever's closest. And we've got some more theatre of the mind.
Fuck off!
Throw one of those in.
Oh, potty mouth. Bloody potty mouth, this lad. I'm not kidding.
Oh, hang on, we've got a Crumbles reaction here from Mark Mattinson, former Maritime Marketing Manager Mark Mattinson in Barmy York. I did ask at the front of that last song, which is called Crumble, would you have ice cream or would you have cream with it, or maybe something different? Who knows? I mean, I believe the Scottish have salty water on theirs. Mark says, it just always genuinely fascinates me why certain people have porridge made with water and with salt in it. It's like you're deliberately making a foodstuff that's deliberately disgusting. You're gonna have to talk me through it.
I think you'll find it's actually very pleasant.
Anyway, I digress. Mike Mattinson says, I would have my crumble warm and served with vanilla ice cream. Which would probably leave me looking like one of the people from those sensitive teeth toothpaste adverts in the 80s. It's all good fun, isn't it? Until somebody loses an eye. That's the problem, isn't it? That is the problem right there. Just heard your story about the red wine tap on the bar. I was saying last week about, you go in certain pubs, certainly back in the 90s and the 80s. Have you got any red wine? I've got it on tap here, pal. There you go. Stalls of Chelsea. You want a pint or a half? And it reminded me of my local in the 90s. Both red and white, brackets, Stowells, if memory serves me right. Of course it was Stowells. It was the industry standard. Hang on. I've turned over a page there. Look at this. This is going to have to be a real cliffhanger, this, because I've actually put these in the wrong order. I've stapled them in the wrong order. Oh yeah, here we go. Found it. Kept it in the fridge. He kept his red wine in the fridge, this barman, right, this landlord. When it was mentioned to the landlord that red wine should be room temperature, he would offer to pop it in the microwave out back for half a minute. That's fantastic, that. Oh, you want it? You don't want it cold? No, I'll just give it 30 seconds in microwave. It'll be all right. It'll be like a hot Vimto. Very nice. You want another dad gag? Okay. I'll tell you what, I made this one up on the way in because I cycled in today. I went down the canal. Just people that are really interested in this kind of shit. And came around the back of Edgware Road. Went past quite a few hotels. When a drummer is on tour, what are his or her favourite hotel chains to stay in? What would you say? When a drummer is on tour, what is his or her favourite hotel chains to stay in? That's right, the Premier Inn and the Hyatt. The hi-hat, you see. It's like that. You know, the symbol that you...
Forget it.
Alright, tell you what we'll do next. You stay there. I have decided, I've made an executive decision here that it's time to play some late 90s, early noughties R&B. I'm going to play Tony Braxton's You're Making Me High. What I want you to do is I want you to pay particular attention to the lyric in the first part of the song, and it's really quite staggering.
I'll always think of you inside of my private thoughts. Can't imagine you touching my private parts. And just the thought of you, can't help but touch myself. That's why I want you so bad. And just one night right there with you there beside me, all night doing it again and again. You know I want you so bad, baby, 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 ooh, baby. I get so high when I'm around you, baby. I can touch the sky. You make my temperature rise. Ooh, baby, you're making me high. And in my mind of you, I think I might be obsessed. The very thought of you makes me want to get undressed. I want to be with you in spite of what my heart says. I guess I want you to bad. All I want is with you there inside me. Ooh, baby, doing it again and again and again and again. You know I want you so bad, baby, baby, baby. Ooh, I get so high when I'm around you, baby. I can touch the sky. You make my temperature rise. Ooh, boy, you're making me high. Ooh, baby, baby, baby. I wanna feel your heart and soul inside of me. Let's make a deal. You and I live, we can go flying into ecstasy. Darling, you and me, light my fire, blow my flame. Take me, take me, take me away. But all I really won't be with you there inside me all night. Ooh, doing it again and again and again and again. Ooh, baby, I want you so bad, baby, 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 baby. I get so high when I'm around you, baby. I can touch the sky. You make my temperature
Welcome to your voicemail service. Here are your messages. Message 1.
Hi, it's Sean and team. Hope you're having a lovely St. Patrick's Day. Nick Newcastle, by the way, one of the gardeners. Just wanted to wish you all a happy St. Patrick's Day, and I hope the show goes as fantastic as always tomorrow. Peace and love to you all. Bye-bye.
Press 1 to delete, 2 to repeat, 3 to... Message deleted. Message 2.
Ah, Rich Sean Peck, how's it going? It's just your old pal Sting here, checking in to see how you're doing and share a little bit of an update from me week. So, this morning, I've had a real cracking time. I've been to that Gus from Bristol's Titanic Sex Breathing Workshop. It's already starting to work wonders. I've added an extra 5.92 seconds to my personal best staying power. And as a bonus, I no longer need to recite the German dictionary backwards to try and hold off from reaching me lucky conclusions too quickly. Anyway, enough of that nonsense. The real reason why I'm calling is to let you know about my new Channel 5 Fly in the Wild documentary. It follows me as I join the circus and learn and train in the old art of being a ringmaster. We're going to call it A Glimpse Inside of Sting's Ring. It's going to be absolutely belting. Anyways, I better go now, because I've got to rearrange my Vera box sets in alphabetical order. So, lots of love to you. Lots of love to all the community gardeners out there. Keep up the great work now, and we'll see you soon, Pet. Lots of love now. Bye. Bye.
Message deleted.
Strange like a stormy sea. I don't know why. I guess these things have gotta be. I've got a new rose, I've got a good. Yes, I knew that I always would. I can't stop to mess around. I got a brand new rose in town. See the sun, it shines. Don't get too close or it'll burn your eyes. Don't you run away that way. You can come back another day. I've got a new rose, I've got a good. Yes, I knew that I always would. I can't stop to mess around. I got a brand new rose in town. I never thought this could happen to me. I feel so strange. Oh, why should it be? I don't deserve somebody this great. I better go, or it'll be too late. Like a stormy sea. I don't know why. I guess these things have gotta be. I got a new rose, I got a good. Yes, I knew that I always would. I can't stop to mess around. I got a brand new rose in town. Whoa.
You know what I'm talking about, you know I'm right. You know I'm right. That was New Rose by the Giant. And before this we heard Sting leaving us a voice message. Thank you very much, Sting. And before it, you're making me high, Tony Braxton. A little bit of filth for you there on a Friday afternoon. I don't know if he's going to become a weekly visitor to the airwaves here, Sting, but it's lovely to hear from him. And always puts me in mind of some of my favourite Sting solo music, solo material. I'd love to. I just wonder how it would go down if we played something off, I don't know, something like 10 Summoners Tales.
7 days was all she wrote. Was all she wrote, 7 days. Lose my faith in you if ever I.
The greatest hits of Sting are sung by Yoda.
Losing you I can't stand.
Etc. Theatre of the Mind Part 2 coming up. We are going to be talking to Tracy, and she's going to be revealing how much her MOT was on her Ford Fiesta. Well, hopefully, we'll certainly ring the person who's closest to the guess with their guess, and they will receive the litre of gin. Please drink responsibly. Community garden gin. I'll do the proper accreditation a little bit later on in the hour. You don't have to worry about that. We're in the open arms, though. You can have what you want. Have you got a Bailey's on Ice for me, please? Who's this from? Anne-Marie in Leeds, obvs. Plus a bag of playing hula hoops. For Jukebox, Loving a Broken Dream by Python Lee Jackson. Is that my backing vocalist Rod Stewart who sings Python Lee Jackson? Is that right? I've just got that. I've just embarrassed myself. Martin Ricks wants a pint of anything cold and amber, please. I've got a lovely pint of chilled honey in the fridge if you want it. It's quite difficult to get through.
It's race weekend in here in Cheltenham, so the pubs are full of people in tweed and no socks, hiding at home till the madness ends.
I drove through Cheltenham. I don't wish to cast aspersions on geographical hotspots of the country. Certainly places that I hope to go to again. But I can swear this is true. I drove through Cheltenham town centre once to get to a hotel that I was going to, and it was about this time on a Friday afternoon, or perhaps a little bit later. So it was chucking out time at the local schools, and I'd never seen so many 12-year-old smokers in my life. It really, honestly, it was kind of an arresting sight. I kind of had to slow the car down a few times. Like, look at that lad, he's about 9. He's got a cigar. Just a strange little anomaly, I think, about that particular. Maybe it was just that day. Maybe the tobacco companies were having an expo in one of the local schools. I don't know. Pint of Guinness, please. No logo on the foam, says Jack, Grumpy Yorkshire in Chester. And have you got any of them crispy coated peanuts with the barbecue seasoning on and that? No, but we've got some of our crispy eggs. We've still got a few of those left. The bag of potatoes scrunched up with the pickled egg dropped in it. And Mark says the missus is out shopping and I've been working under the van all day. I'm bloody exhausted. Oh, we heard from you before, didn't we? Can I have a special brew with a gold label top? Can you imagine? Hey, and I forgot to mention this, right? Tony Braxton's lyric, just so as you know, is unbelievable filth. It's prosaic filth as well. It's not even poetic filth. It's the sort of thing that a pair of 14-year-olds might say to each other. Right, this is the opening lyric to the song we just played. I'll always think of you. Is it sexy when I do this in a pub? I'll always think of you inside of my private thoughts. I can imagine you touching my private parts. I mean, who writes a lyric like that? That's shocking. It's not sexual, that tone. It's just stupid. Just the thought of you. I can't help but touch myself.
Stop touching it.
That's why I want you so bad.
Stop touching it.
Ridiculous. Anyway, and I must pour a special drink for Mally in Wimborne, who's had a terrible week. I can't read it all, but it's a lengthy missive. Basically, she cycled to her son's martial arts club. She fell down a small hole. She hobbled back to her son's lesson, which was cancelled. Her son took a tumble on Sunday playing on the front and twisted his knee up. Had to have Monday and Tuesday off school. After a ruined weekend of pain, her mum drove her to the hospital to get an x-ray. She's got a fracture. She's now got one of those funny boots on, which is amazing. But as we tried to go home, my mum's car's just making that ticking noise and the battery's dead. Then I realised we had an online parents meeting. We had to do it in the car. And then my daughter came home with COVID. I'm still working at home on top of all this madness. So can you pour me a pint of gin and tonic? I might just leave the tonic out for you.
Sounds like an absolute nightmare. Really, it does. Really, it does.
I'll tell you what, why don't we have a splash of this instead? Just to cheer you up. Sunshine, lollipops and rainbows on a hill. Where we are together. And to cheer you up, Ali, I'll give you another one of my dad gags, right? It's a rich crop today. You ready? Got tumbleweed ready. My mate is a sculptor. He does like mini sculptures. You know, people do sometimes. They've got that special tool and they can make mini sculptures. And he loves to whittle nuts into tiny miniature statues of worship and then put them on bread and eat them. Yeah, that's right. Peanut butter sandwiches.
Okay, forget you.
Should I play something borrowed? I've been talking about doing this all week and I'm going to pay it off right now. I'm not going to be cowed by the naysayers and the people that say, don't you dare assail my ears with this cheese. I completely disagree with you. I think it's one of the greatest bangers of the last 31 years. The reason that it's something borrowed is that it appeared on Pick of the Pops with Paul Gamboccini last week. It is quite simply Maria McKee and Show Me Heaven. Another filthy tune, actually. Fair point, well made.
Stop touching it.
We're flying above.
Romantic masterpiece in my view, that.
That's a romantic masterpiece in my view, that. Tell you what, Sean,
If all else fails, pop Maria McKee Show Me Heaven on. All right, mate. Okay, now. Should be putty in your hands, mate. That was something borrowed, courtesy of the wonderful, the only, the legendary Paul Gambaccini. Will be tuning in, of course, to Pick the Pops again on Radio 2 tomorrow. If you stay tuned through the afternoon, I think, if memory serves, Rylan will be on after him. And then some young buck, some journeyman, some nascent journeyman called Sean Keaveney is going to be on instead of the legendary Lisa Tarbuck between 6 and 8 p.m. Should you want an extra splash of Kiev. Disgusting thought. What can I say? This is the exciting juncture of the programme where we test our technological capabilities to the limit, and the amount of plugins we've got into the mixing desk, because it is time for us to put up the fader and hope that one of the listeners is there. It's time for our listener quiz. You remember last week it was Sarah Astbury's Ford Cougar. The front left tyre, I think, had got a puncture due to a large nail. I think it cost about £25.96 for it to be removed by Thameslink Tyres or somebody. So that was exciting. We thought we've got to do this every week because it's just absolute pay dirt. So this week, we've got on the telephone line, I do believe, is it on the laptop one?
Cartwall one.
It's on the Cartwall one, is it? And this is the unfortunate thing. Remember, we've already talked about this. Whilst we're talking to a listener, we do not have access to the Cartwall. It's something that we're trying to remedy, but now there's no map plane. It's a lot harder to do these things. We have to make these cables ourselves and extrude them, and it takes time. But I think Tracy Hayden's with us. Are you there, Tracy?
I am indeed. I'm a bit overcome from hearing you sing along to Maria McKee there, though. It was beautiful.
Show me heaven, cover me. I mean, what, just all joking aside, right, and all sort of trying to be cool for your friends, and I've got a really incredible song selection on my, my sort of laptop sort of side, all that aside, isn't that an absolutely fantastic song?
Oh, it absolutely is. Absolutely. I've got it on vinyl somewhere.
No.
Still. Yeah, I've got all my mum's 7-inch singles and that and Boy Meets Girl, which you played the other week. You're playing some absolute bangers.
Waiting for a star to fall. Yeah, don't leave me hanging. That's it. Maybe that's what this feature eventually will be, is just me and a listener singing along to some of our favourite hits of the 80s.
That sounds perfect.
It's got ITV1 Saturday afternoons written all over it, as far as I'm concerned. Tracy, how are you? How's your week been?
I'm good. It's not bad. The sun's out. The sky's blue. So, yeah, looking up.
It makes a difference, doesn't it? Doesn't it make a colossal difference, the meteorology? All of a sudden, it just, I don't know, it lifts a little weight from everybody's shoulders, doesn't it? There's a little spring in the step. And if you're a single person, I always think, I can't really remember what that's like, but there was always that feeling of the sap rising and possibility being endless.
I think we need to Sid James laugh there.
It's a shame we can't access the Cartwall while we've got you on the phone, really. It's a shame. He's off mic, but you just about got in there.
Yeah.
But how do is life good for you? I mean, I'm looking for tips on how to cope with life, because I find it very overwhelming a lot of the time at the moment, life. And notwithstanding all the things that are happening in the world and the things we've been through with COVID and stuff like that, we've got all our daily travails and woes that we have to work through. I mean, how do you seem like a sensible woman to me, Tracy. You seem like a woman who's got life sorted to some extent. I'm looking to you for some wise words of counsel. How do you get through the week?
Yeah, I think you might be a bad judge of character, to be honest. No, we look forward to your show every week. That does actually help. Oh. It's a highlight. I'm sitting there at my desk working alone, waiting for my proper work to get started in the summer. And
tell us about your proper work that starts in the summer. What will you be doing in the summer?
Wedding photography and a bit of music. I'm hoping to be up there at Blue Dot to do a bit, but mostly weddings. So that's you know.
Could you
keeps me going.
you couldn't put a word in for me, Trace, could you? Like when you're doing the weddings, because I could do with earning a bit of extra coin on the side if anybody needs DJ work and stuff like, or I'll even collect glasses. I just whatever if there's any work going in the summer, I could do with a bit of extra coin. So would you bear that in mind?
I think you'd be excellent at remembering the first dance if you pull out Maria McKee again.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think you could handle it. But yeah,
Okay.
I'll see what I can drum up for you.
Thanks very much. And it should be mentioned, actually, it's the elephant in the room, that I think you know former fire warden Phil Smith. I think you used to go to the same school as him.
I do indeed. I was going to mention actually that, you know, the garage I took my car to is from Phil's hometown.
What?
In fact, I walked past his childhood home on the walk I had before the show started.
Oh,
but yeah.
I'm overcome with emotion. I mean, as you know, I've traded him in for a younger model. I've got Ben now. So, you know, which is awkward. Sometimes Phil and I see each other, we walk across, you know, we sort of, there's a frisson still there, but, you know.
Yeah, no, you'll never lose that.
No, the sex was fantastic. Well, listen, without further ado, right, Trace, we've got a litre bottle of gin to give away to the winner of today's listener quiz. And so let's just get to the nitty gritty of it. First of all, tell us about the car. What plate car? What year? And what model?
It's red.
Top Gear here. I don't believe it. She got Penny McGuinness's job next year. So it's a red Fiesta, right? It looks relatively new. When did you acquire it?
Oh, it's the newest car I've ever owned. Yeah, I got it in 2018 with my lovely old Ford Focus that had 220,000 miles on the clock.
Good God.
Finally had to be put to rest, even though I adored that car.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Took me places.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I miss that car, but yeah, just you know, it's nice and shiny and reliable. Gets me to my weddings.
Okay, so it's relatively new, and it went in for an MOT. And what I'm going to do is now I'm going to read out some of the guesses, and we've got let's have a look. Dan, 3780. Former maritime marketing manager Matt Mattinson, £53.17. All a bit low on the low side. £62.79. Chris said. Steve Savoury, £67. Tez Smith, £72.73. I love the sheer accuracy of these as well. In the whole, they get it exactly right. You don't get any extra for getting it exactly right. James Back, £122.99. It's going up a bit now. Are they getting warmer? These guesses.
Yes.
£150.51. Says JJ. Let's have a look. Sam says £186.97. So it's north of £186, is it, Tracy?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends how. I don't know your rules. There's a bit of a curveball here, you see, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, there was a balance paid, but it's whether you're specifically asking how much the MOT itself cost.
Oh, no, I want to know what the full balance is. And
the full balance. You're nearly there.
Well, why don't you reveal it to us now, Tracy? How much was the balance to pay off for the MOT and all the advisories for the Ford Fiesta?
Yeah. Well, it was an MOT and a full service, and I had an advisory, just the one.
Okay.
And it came to 276.
You're not going to believe this, but we have an exact guess. And
no
way. Yes, we do. It's so unfortunate that we still haven't got because we don't have the right chord. We can't play the Roger Daltrey but we do. Sylvia has guessed exactly right, £276. It's a shame for Tomo/Andrew, who guessed £275.75. So close. But what we'll do now is, I think what we'll do is we'll play a song, and then we'll try and get hold of Sylvia to find out what her reaction is on the other side of it. But Tracy, can I say thank you so much for being a wonderful, wonderful guest on the programme. And we should send you a bottle of gin as well. We haven't got one, so I'm afraid you'll have to buy it.
Well, I'll be driving responsibly, so I think I can cope. But it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you so much, my dear. It's been wonderful to have you on the show. Thank you very much, and safe driving.
Waking up on a Sunday
Obviously play that for Charlotte. From Life on Other Planets, just one of my favourite songs that Supergrass ever did, and Can't Get Up it's called. Danny Goffey's just such a phenomenally gifted drummer, isn't he? That's 20 years old, I think, that album now. It just seems disgusting to me. Sorry to everybody who made guesses who didn't get through. Tim Unwin, Dom Grant, Matthew Cavaney, Tosh, David Allenson, Michael Carlisle, Mel Partridge, Jonathan Skull, Ando, Alexander Edwards, Ian Rowland, Angela Henry, Nicola Cook, Anthony Betts, DJ Carlos. But there can only be one winner of the litre of gin. And she got it right on the nose. I wonder how she feels. Are you there, Sylvia?
We're calling her live, aren't we?
Oh, we're calling her live, yeah, I forgot. What we're trying to do is live by the seat of our boxers and ring her literally live on air now. Won't be doing this.
Hello?
Is that Sylvia?
Hello? Oh, yeah, hello. God, I can't believe it.
Sylvia, what, I mean, how does that feel? I mean, surely this must feel like... I mean, the first person who won the lottery in 1994, you know, Mr. Blobby, Noel Edmonds, and the big Camelot computer. You must feel...
Total random guess. I know nothing about cars, haven't got one, never had one, absolutely just went 276.
I think you're a savant. We really, I think we should get you to email me the numbers for the lottery, and then we could share it 1,500 ways.
I'm so impressed, but this is so surreal. It's like I've never heard my name mentioned. You know, it's like I've just heard my name coming out of the radio and just thought, Jesus. Yeah, no, it's insane. I can't believe it. Thank you very much.
Oh, well, congratulations. You know, I was just thinking then, if I was any kind of a broadcaster, what I would have done is something really cheesy, and I would have lined up Focus's Sylvia to play off the back of it, because it would have just seemed like really dovetail nicely, wouldn't it? But I just simply don't think that quickly, Sylvia. And incidentally, just while I've got you on, is that a millstone, or is it a pleasure to have a song that is named after you that's quite famous by a Dutch prog group?
I don't mind anymore. When I was a kid, it was the Dr. Hook one that really did my head in.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Sylvia's mother said.
Sylvia's mother. Potentially even more catchy. Well, listen, thank you very much. What we'll do is...
It's a pleasure, and it's so great that you're on. I love it.
Oh,
well done.
You're a pure legend. Thank you very much. Congratulations, and please drink responsibly. Don't drink it all at once.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, my darling. That's brilliant. Let's have a bit of Albertine Sarges now and the girls. Right, this could be something borrowed as well, because my mate Dot told me about this today, and I'd never really listened to Albertine that much. But this song is just utterly gorgeous. The girls.
You're a human lighthouse, you don't play hide and seek in the bushes. You are sending beams out just from the highest point in town. You meet her for picnic and such touchy service, looking for a secret, get all the metadata here. Get all the metadata. Yeah, Baba, yeah, I got you. It's you, me, the girl. What you say? You and me, the girl. What you dreaming? You, me, the girl. What's your dream? I'm midsummer night dreaming of you and the girl.
beautiful. Oh, shut up. Oh, don't get that at Radio 2, do you? Sibilant. Albertine Sarges and the Girls, that is from her The Sticky Fingers album, which is out now. Simply brilliant, I'm sure you'll agree. Thank you to Dot for turning me on to that this afternoon. Because one of the ways that I get my tips is by... I log into my streaming service through Facebook, which I don't really use anymore. But what's great is that some of my friends pop up and their song suggestions, what they're playing at that moment. And sometimes I just harvest them for this programme. Oh, stop it, Sean. You really are a terrible, terrible man.
Let's be having you!
I suppose we should have a couple more pints while we've got the opportunity, shouldn't we? Sort of running out of time a little bit. Running out of runway a little bit. Your hair or your areas. I was like 8 pints of lager, barkeep, and a crispy egg. Let's have a look. People waving tenors and 20s at me. You won't get much for a tenner in here now. Nobody waves a fiver at the bar anymore, do they? Unless they want a glass of water. John the Grumpy Mechanic's back. Look, I'm here live this week. I'm getting precisely no work done, Sean. Can I have a crispy egg and a Guinness? May as well get plastered. # please drink responsibly. I'm in listener hotspot Cornwall. It is becoming rather the hotspot. We've got Helen, who's got a couple of pubs down there. We do intend to bust this whole operation out to the local 2 pubs over the coming few months. Keep you posted on that. Hawaii is obviously the ultimate aim. One step at a time. You know it's like you've got to take your time. Andy says, am I too late for either a pint of Pendlewich or Old Peculiar? I'm going to try crispy egg for the first time if there are any left. I've gone a little bit stinky because it's the temperature's gone up, but I think they'll be fine. Matt from Concert has just arrived and he wants a jug of tequila sunrise and a bin bag of pork scratchings. And of course, you've had millions of requests for. That's it.
San Miguel! Miguel!
Please, drink responsibly.
For a pint. Anyway, so that's all good. As I say, running out of runway somewhat, but I did promise you Theatre of the Mind parts 1 and 2. We've already heard me doorstopping OPEC at a yacht shop, and you're about to hear part 2 now. And the reason that it exists is because I read this story a little bit earlier in the week. Comedian Russell Brand. I used to work with Russell, actually, in the interest of full disclosure. We used to do some shows together back at the XFM days when it was all cowboy boots and pipes with interesting things in them. Lovely fella, actually, extraordinarily talented. But this week he called Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau a tyrant for dismantling the nation's Freedom Convoy trucker protest and called him a hypocrite for allegedly posing as an exemplar of democracy in opposition to Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine. In a recent video, he essentially called Mr. Trudeau a hypocrite for joining in a pro-democratic backlash to Mr. Putin's invasion of Ukraine. And the problem is that, as one does in this day and age, especially when you have access to YouTube, access to Dixon's, you end up falling down something of a YouTube black hole, don't you? And I started to watch some of Russell's videos. And, they can be quite challenging viewing. I mean, I like the lad. I dropped him off in Clerkenwell in 2001 in my Citroen ZX. Not that he knew at the time, there's a little bit of spearmint on the seat, which stuck to his left buttock. I don't think he's ever truly forgiven me for that. His heart's in the right place, there's no two ways about that. But you watch some of the videos and he does seem to be caught in a certain kind of conspiracy theory fan, which it does worry me a little bit, that. And if you listen to his latest broadcast, that sort of confirms where we're at with it.
My dicky doos, it's me! Natural mystic, sensualist, bearded bead wearer, lotus position espouser, and deep tan aficionado, Russell Brand. What? Ain't you the shagger what done marbles in the toilet? Well, yes, sir, it was most likely me, but I have transmogrified from Dickensian dandy winkle picker wearing shag nasty to true sage, wise man, and seeker. Insert mystical bells here, barkeep. as I sit here in my lovely big house in Henley-on-Thames, truly the outer of London town. I ruminate on things that you to me a plebeian won't have time to, because you're working and that and putting up shelves and delivering packages and swilling down beer. You've not got time nor talent to turn your tiny mind to the big picture. So lucky for you, here I am, a Wilco Budder, a seer, a man of questions. That's all I'm doing, Your Honour, asking questions. Or is that now also illegal in our authoritarian jackboot regime? Eh? COVID vaccine scepticism or trust? I ask with raised brow. Is microdosing with horseworm tablets the answer to COVID? Did we land on the moon? Or was it really Malcolm McDowell and Lee Majors pissing about in Pinewood? Please see my latest YouTube vid for my most recent bit of soothsaying titled "Bet Justin Trudeau's as bad as Putin because he made some trackers of a vaccine." And I myself have another raft of questions asked with a good dose of cheek, a dash of carry-on camping, all while wearing a scoop-top vest revealing occasional nipple that gives the impression of the serious intellectual stroke sex athlete. However, today my questions will mostly revolve around a prosaic, such as: are Jaffa cakes cakes or biscuits? Can men over 50 wear skinny jeans? Why does your spearmint lose its flavour on the bedpost overnight? And so forth. My name is Russell Brand. I once came to shag your daughters. Now I'm here to shag your mind.
One more time.
Duffberg.
One more time. We're gonna celebrate. Oh yeah, alright. Don't stop the dancing. One more time. We're gonna celebrate. Oh yeah, alright. Don't stop the dancing. One more time. We're gonna celebrate. Oh yeah, alright. Don't stop the dancing. One more time. We're gonna celebrate. Oh yeah. One more time. We're gonna celebrate. Oh yeah, alright. Don't stop the dancing. One more time. We're gonna celebrate. Oh yeah, don't stop the dancing. One more time. You know I'm just feeling celebration tonight. Celebrate. Don't wait too late. No, we don't stop. You can't stop. We're gonna celebrate. One more time. One more time. One more time. A celebration. You know we're gonna do it right tonight. Hey, just feeling. Music's got me feeling the need. Yeah. Come on. Alright, we're gonna celebrate one more time. Celebrate and dance so free. Music's got me feeling so free. Celebrate and dance so free. One more time. Music's got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate. Celebrate and dance so free. One more time. Music's got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate. Celebrate and dance so free. One more time. Music's got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate. Celebrate and dance so free. One more time. Music's got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate. Celebrate and dance so free. One more time. Music's got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate. Celebrate and dance so free. One more time. Music's got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate. Celebrate and dance so free. One more time. Music's got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate. Celebrate and dance so free. One more time. Music's got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate. Celebrate and dance so free. One more time. Music's got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate. Yeah. One more time. Music's got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate.
I'm joking.
Dance so free. One more time. Music's got
One more time.
free. We're gonna
Da punk.
celebrate and dance so free.
What's that? That's got to be 20 years ago now. Something fucking ridiculous like that. What's the matter with you?
But you'll never change me, you've gone.
It's getting to that point of the programme, isn't it? We're going to have to sort of wind this goddamn thing up. It's going to become a hostage situation, guys. That's the problem. You get a few more birthdays I forget to mention earlier on. I thought I'd chuck those in, dodge the end here. You know what I'm talking about. Deb Brown. Deb. I'll be 57 next Sunday. What's happened? Does this make me one of your oldest listeners? No, not by a long shot. So can I have a gin fizz, gin and prosecco, and a tune? No, you can't have a tune. The next song's for you, Deb Brown. What about that? The Walking Foley, are you? Jason, I was wondering if you could wish my wife Nikki a happy birthday for Saturday 19th. She's had a bit of a week. She just started a new job and's feeling a bit overwhelmed. It's all new to her, but we know she's going to be amazing at it. New jobs are like new shoes, aren't they? Painful to begin with, but you soon settle in. Tell her me and the girls, Naya and Alexa, love her millions, and we hope she has a lovely weekend celebrating. She won't be listening. She's got It's Radio on in kitchen. And the Great Gumbo says, any chance of a birthday shout out for the 18th of March? Might lift my mood with the St. Paddy's Day hangover at school. By the way, don't wish my twin brother Ben a happy birthday, because he's not a Patreon, he's a tight bastard. The Great Gumbo's words, not mine. And Nikki informed B says, my little seedling Tommy turns 10 on the Wednesday the 16th. 10 for goodness sake. We'd love a shout out. As a nipper, I used to think you were our friend, chatting to us on the morning run to school and nursery. I still kind of think you are. I am. I'm one of those friends that's flaky as fuck, but I'm still a friend. I will have a large amaretto on the rocks to go with the birthday cake. It's nice to have a sort of sweet, or perhaps a vanilla-y alcoholic drink to go with cake, isn't it? Diplomatico rum and a block of dark chocolate is great. That's what I think. And I did ask, at least we found one hero this week. We will, once we've got our Bonnie Tyler bed safely and securely on the cart wall, hopefully next week or the week after, we'll do this in a more concerted fashion. But we do have a hero today. So congratulations, right? Stay there, we don't need that anymore. Congratulations to...
Dan!
This is my holding out for a hero moment this week, was reaching a block of lard from the top shelf for an old lady in the co-op, which is great, isn't it? Isn't that lovely?
Gonna make her feel good.
I was storming through the place in a moment of hangry madness, but stopping to help her lifted my mood as I marvelled that people still buy and use lard or lard. What time is it? Okay, I guess then we ought to really wind this goddamn thing up, hadn't we? I mean, that's the way it works. Tragic but true. Hill Street Blues, Hill Street Blues, it's bloody Hill Street Blues. I just want to thank you as always at this juncture of the programme. I thank Ben and Clive, of course. I'm not thanking Clive for his halfway to Devon. He's been half all use all afternoon. Except to query whether a hamper is a food. It was no help. But thanks mostly to you, my dear patrons, without whom ... I mean, it literally would be impossible. It would be a goose farting in the fog. I'd be rearranging the deck chairs on the prow of the Titanic.
Me and Keith, we've had a lot of medicine.
We'll be back next week. There's going to be another episode of The Cul-de-sac as well on Monday. Tomorrow, I stand in for the legendary Lisa Tarbuck on Radio 2 if you get a chance to crock in here. Oh, that's what I was going to say. If you do listen, you'll notice that I'm retreading a lot of my song choices and also material from this programme. Because I thought, why not? You know, they've not heard it, have they? So this is by way of a sort of shonky apology, I suppose, if that happens. If you do hear me use material again, But if you think about it, comedians do it all the time, don't they? And I'm certainly not one of those. Hang on. Rim shot. Oh, I missed it. I was too busy looking down the barrel of this camera here, trying to look smouldering. I got my full blue steel. Well, didn't even get a chance to look through the Preston Guild official programme for this month. It's a shame because there's some real gold in here this week. Apparently, if you go to Lostock Hall, Royal British Legion on March the 22nd, you can join them for a fun quiz. Don't go on Monday night because it just says quiz, so I don't think it's that fun on Mondays, which is a shame. Hill Street Blues, Hill Street Blues, Hill Street Blues. It's Hill Street, Hill Street, Hill Street Blues.
Come to England and see our beavers.
Okay, there's only one thing left to do, and that is to play the final song. And no, I haven't forgotten to play Something Blue. This completes the wedding playlist. We've had something old from Howlin' Wolf. We've had something new from Kate Tempest and Leanne Havas. We've had something borrowed. Maria McKee, Show Me Heaven. Didn't that go down well? Something Blue. I hope I'm not repeating myself here. One of my favourite albums of all time, even though it only came to my full attention in 2019 when Guy Garvey did a special on it on Six Music, because that's how behind the curve I am. I'm going to finish with The Blue Nile and Downtown Lights because it's uplifting and gorgeous and melancholic all at the same time. A little bit like me. I kiss you on both cheeks. Keep your eye out for any fresh batches on the Patreon. Might hear you tomorrow. Definitely hear you next Friday.
Anything to add to that, Ben?
Look after yourselves.
Look after yourselves. Well said. I second that emotion. Yeah. Look after yourselves. It can be rough out there, but together we'll get through it. Hold me.